I mean, yeah, at one point it was like on a personal level, like a roller coaster just going up for me. But still, like in terms of the team and our standard, it was most of the season it was kind of going downhill. And I mean, so this season, wouldn't necessarily call it a failure, but it wasn't up to the standards we all wanted it to be. And personally, I mean, still could have been better. I could have been healthier throughout more parts of the season and just more present. But yeah, a lot to look forward to next season, and a lot to learn from this season.
Now, with your injury, granted you dealt with it the whole season, but did it flare up with the national team? Is that sort of the timeline?
Yeah, it kind of started a little around I want to say April, and then yeah, from there it just kept getting worse and worse. And then by the time Gold Cup was happening, that's probably the worst it felt. And then coming back, Leagues Cup. Sorry for touching that. So it felt a little better. I got an injection, but after, yeah, after the Lyon game, I flared up again, dealt with it the next game, and then from there, I'm here now. So, yeah, I kind of dealt with it majority of the season, but it wasn't horribly bad.
And are you now preparing as if you're for 2024, maybe a national team call up to start the year, and then on to the Olympics and everything that's on the line for next year?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I can be ready for any camps before the end of this year. That would be like the best case scenario, but yeah, just preparing for 2024 right now.
If the season were still going ongoing, would you have a chance to play?
I would think so, but maybe if we reach like conference finals, I think, yeah, 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 a couple more weeks to go.
All of that said, the difficulties, the injury, not being able to be at full strength really at any point, all of
Mhm.
that, you stepped up and were impressive and kind of showed yourself as somebody who can be a future, a big figure for this club for the future. And I'm just wondering what were the biggest things that you gained from it, whether that's emotionally or um, in terms of how it helps your confidence, or whatever it was. Just what were the biggest things that you gained from this year and the opportunities that you received?
I think the biggest thing would be confidence and experience. Experience obviously my first full season, full MLS season. So getting to play against higher level players with higher level players, just learning new things, nuances to, certain things during dead balls or, when you're not even near the ball and you're still guarding a player, just stuff like that. Um, and then obviously, yeah, confidence too. Having good performances against high level players, it gives you the confidence to think you can keep on doing that and, doing it consistently too, knowing that consistency is also the key in this season, not even personally, but as a collective group too. We all need to be on our, A game throughout the entirety of the season and not just, one game at a time and take maybe a 3 game break from that. We have to do it game in, game out, each day in training too. So just learning stuff like that. I mean, there was a lot to learn this season, so hopefully the whole team can take that in and make it better next year.
Team certainly conceded too many goals and conceded too many easy goals, and that's problems all over the field. When you're looking at in the back, the issues that you guys had in that regard, what do you think needs to be cleaned up, and what were the problems? What needs to happen to clean that up?
Yeah, I think a lot of, I mean, looking from the outside, at least during these last couple months, and I'm not saying the problems were just this last couple months. It was when I was still there. It was the entirety of the season. I'd say miscommunication and just players not being on the same page, and it's throughout the entire field. It's not just the defensive line. It's all 3 lines of defense. And yeah, that was the biggest thing, just not being connected, off the ball too, and just simple things is not covering players, sliding together, being on the same line, communication, decision making, all that.
The uh, the way Greg likes to play, you guys have the ball, you're looking to attack. We often see teams realize that, and you guys are attacking into often very crowded attacking thirds.
Hmm.
It also leads
Yeah, I think our attacking numbers are fine. To be honest, I think it's how we deal with our shape behind the ball when we are attacking. Because I mean, if we want to score goals, then we're gonna have to get numbers up the field. It's how we can find that balance of having the strength behind the ball and the organization, and guys who are willing to defend when people want to go forward and score. We have to have people on the team who take pride in defending and stopping counterattacks and keeping the ball in the other opponent's half. So it's just up to that, really, I would say. But I personally like having a lot of numbers forward, obviously in a controlled manner, but you're gonna have to score goals somewhere.
And lastly, for me, there's a lot of experienced center backs on this team, and especially Martin.
Hmm.
And Maya later on, although you were not really healthy when he's here. I'm just wondering, what were the biggest things you gained in dealing with them and being mentored by them?
I mean, it was a lot. I mean, I would say I learned a lot from Caceres just because I was playing with him much more often. But it was a lot of things I would see him do. It was a lot of his actions more than face to face conversations. Just because I mean language barrier, obviously. And it would be like little stuff on the field, like especially in preseason. We didn't get much reps together during preseason, but just watching him while I was on the other team, noticing how he dealt with certain situations, how he was calm under pressure, how sometimes when he was under too much pressure, just get out of here. That was a problem I'd say I would have the previous 2 3 years. I would try to play out a lot instead of just getting the ball up the field when it was time to do that. Stuff like that, and like I said, just little nuances to marking players, communication. Just I would say those three specifically.
And next, we'll start with Zoom questions. We'll go ahead and start with Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey Jalen, thank you so much for your time. Just earlier, maybe like a week ago, you opened a new pitch in your hometown. Since when was that, an idea that you wanted to get going? And I guess, why? It's not often you see a lot of younger players do that, but you have already at the age of 20. If you could just get your thoughts on that process of opening that for your city.
Yeah, so I got the idea. I think early, like the beginning of 2021, maybe preseason, from Cesar Roldan, because he told me him and his two brothers opened a mini pitch in Pico Rivera. So I got the idea early, thankfully, from them. And then, yeah, from there I emailed US Soccer. They replied quickly, maybe in like the next couple days. And then, yeah, it's been a process ever since then. There's been a couple stages of, stalling just because I had to figure out where the funding was going to come from and, who wanted to sponsor the field and things like that. And, everybody had to be on the same page, the city, US Soccer, Herbalife, Galaxy Foundation, me, everyone. So it was a smooth process in the end, I would say. But yeah, I mean, getting the opportunity to do that so early, I have to thank Caesar for bringing that up to me and helping me reach out to U.S. Soccer as well, because I had questions and he would answer. So he was helping me a lot during the process too. So I'd have to credit him. But yeah, since I would say like February of 2021, maybe.
Yeah, and also too, I guess maybe more on the field. What's an aspect of your game that you really want to work on this offseason?
I'd probably say my physical attributes and just my leadership. I think on the ball, I have the qualities of that a ball playing center back. I can still obviously get better, and I will. That's one improvement I want to make this offseason. Probably my longer balls, but just getting stronger, filling out my frame, and then having more of a vocal presence on the field. Leadership presence in the locker room too, amongst these guys. I know it's a lot of like older players, but that just gives me more motivation to kind of be a leader.
Thanks, Jalen.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Mike.
Hey, Jalen. I know you're not the coach, but you're a smart guy, so I wanted to ask you a quick question here. The Galaxy gave up the most goals in the league this season. I believe it was 67. Why does the team give up so many goals in transition so easily? Because you mentioned it earlier, you got to push numbers up to be able to do that possession game. But it's been like that for a while. And, like I said, you're in training every day. Is it tactics? Is it personnel issue? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very related to what I said earlier. Yeah, we get a lot of numbers up the field, but I mean, we need guys who really want to defend and, take pride in that, and, like kind of look forward to, defending, They don't look for those boring games that, they get one action of defending, one tackle in, and it's, an easy night. We need players who, want to get stuck in, want to make those challenges, make interceptions, stop those counterattacks, all that. And I mean, obviously, there were a lot of times during the season we would get maybe too many numbers forward and leave ourselves vulnerable in the counterattack, defending it. And we need to also learn from that. But that's the thing. We need to learn from our mistakes this season, and we need to learn from them quick also, and apply the improvements quicker as well, I think.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right, do we have any other questions on Zoom? I think that's it for Zoom. Thank you so much for your time.
Started ball striking yet? You started striking?
No, not really. Yeah, just like 10-yard passes. Yeah. Still, like hitting it hard kind of hurts my groin still. Yeah.
Rob, did you have a question on Zoom?
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jalen.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
to piggyback
Eating all
on
off season
what.
too.
Hold on, go ahead,
so-
Rob. Yep.
Hey, Jalen. Just to piggyback on what Alex asked with the mini pitch. It's not your first action doing humanitarian work. You've recently been honored by the Galaxy as Humanitarian of the Year for them. You're one of the former Galaxy players that came through the academy. Julian Araujo also was honored a couple times for his humanitarian work. I know a lot of this is for you familial upbringing. I know Galaxy Mom has kind of put that into you guys as values as a family. But on the sporting side, is that something that the Galaxy Academy talks to you guys about, the values that they try to instill in you? Can you comment a little bit about that?
Yeah, ever since I was in the academy, especially after I joined the high school, there would be opportunities that the learning coaches would give us to go to, I forgot the name of the elementary school, but there's a nearby elementary school maybe 5-10 minutes away. And we would go there for maybe 2-3 hours, help with some dishes, help organize folders, water plants, community stuff like that. And then there were other times too, like as a whole team, we would go do things like that, kind of like community outreach things. And yeah, they would instill those values in us from early on too, and they would make it very important to us that you're not just a soccer player at the end of the day. You're a human, and there's good values you have to hold within yourself. So yeah, they helped a lot with that too. In addition to I say my mom a lot, but my whole family, to be honest. Yeah, Galaxy definitely does that, and they still do. I was just at the last academy event as their season's about to, or maybe has started already, but I was there, and yeah, I mean the values are still the same as when I was there.
I know that the mini pitch took a couple of months to come to fruition. Do you have a new project that you're already eyeing, or maybe something in the works?
I mean, I still want to open up an entire sports facility in Lakewood, not just for soccer, but soccer, basketball, volleyball, a gym, maybe a pool, a jacuzzi. But that's much towards the future. That's just an idea right now. But the mini pitch was once an idea also, so hopefully that can come in next 10 years, I would say. But I would say that's like the next big thing I'd plan. I mean, yeah, other small things in my mind, but I have to wait to take action on them.
Thanks, Jan.